Jabber talk, jabber talk, jabber 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 talk, jabber talk, jabber talk, jabber 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 talk. Miss Jabber, Miss Jabber, jabber talk.
Okay, and welcome once again to Jabber Talk. You know, this is the time when we let the chat out of the bag. We like to talk to people who have done amazing things and great accomplishments, but we don't want to talk about what they do. We want to talk about them and find out what makes them tick, what makes them think, what gets them out of bed in the morning. So, welcome to Jabber Talk. I'm Jacqueline Malcolm. I'm going to be your host for the day. And today we're really excited because we are talking to the cast of Barking Mad Radio Show. Now you'll be thinking, what is Barking Mad Radio Show? Well, actually that's our show. Mine and my sisters. We've created it for Colourful Radio. You can go listen to it on colourfulradio.com, and it is just this fantastic show that's all about these two amazing characters, Andy and Marcia, and it's all about just trying to make things work in Barking. With us today we have David Guerney, who plays Andy, and we have Janet Kumah, who plays Marcia. Do you want to say hi, guys?
Hi.
Now, this feels weird because normally, you know, we're out in cafes and stuff, but today we're actually sitting in the Colourful Radio studios because we have just finished recording the last episode of Barking Mad. How are you guys feeling?
Bit knackered, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe like I could do with some honey. There's a lot of groaning that's been going on for me.
Yeah, my throat's getting a bit dry.
Yes.
So
maybe, But no, good. It would be good to hear it all back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be... Yeah, so you've got to listen out for season 1 of Barking Mad, the last episode 13, when Janet's just explained that Marcia does a lot of groaning. Then you'll understand when you hear that last episode. It is quite an intense scene, to say the least. So,
I've got the dirty mind. Where am I going with this? Oh, I like groaning.
Oh, yes.
Really? Maybe that's just me. Sorry.
No, it's not you. It is not you. Well, it could be just you, but there might be a few other people as well. There's a much more tragic story that goes on that causes, you know, like someone to cry out to God for help, that kind of thing. So, let's take groaning that way, not the other way. Yes. Jabber talk. Okay. So, first of all, David, why don't you, we're going to get to our 40 questions, as we always do, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into acting? What, you know?
I suppose it's like the same sort of story for everyone. You know, when I was young, I saw Singing in the Rain, and then I just kind of thought, oh, that's amazing, look at the tap dancing, I'd love to do that and sing. I mean, I can't sing or dance for toffee, but I guess just seeing performances and having fun and doing I always like doing kind of funny accents and different voices for my mates as a way to make people like me. And I suppose being an actor is essentially, wanting to put on silly voices and beg people to like you, I suppose, on some level.
And what's your favourite form? Do you like TV? Do you like radio? Do you like the stage? What do you love?
I think that on stage is my favourite because it's really engaging to be live and in front of people, and you feel really in the moment. But having done quite a lot of voice work, obviously including this, I think it's also it's different, but it's also quite engaging and fun as well. Because with Barking Mad, for instance, we get the scripts so quickly before we perform, and so when we not a dig or anything, I promise, but because we have that kind of newness and freshness to it, it feels really engaging and really fun and kind of on edge, I suppose,
right?
And quite realistic in that regard.
Because you haven't got that much time to pre-think about what you're going to do and what the character is going to do. You just kind of got to go with it because we table our scripts there. It's out. David has exposed the producers of Barking Mad. We table our scripts on the day. That's the first time they get to see them, and that's that. Huh. Carry on, David.
Sorry.
So, I mean, you've got an amazing voice. You must get picked so much for radio.
Not as much as you'd think, because it's quite competitive, I suppose, voice work, and also because my accent's quite neutral, so it's kind of a guy in his 20s who has a bit of a deep voice with a sort of RP-ish accent is fairly common. But yeah, I've done a few voice stuff. I do quite a lot of radio plays, but it's mainly stuff I tend to do in Reading, where I'm from.
Great.
So I don't. Yeah, and I do the odd kind of corporate job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, radio is just it's so much more fun than corporate stuff, like talking about finances or something. But yeah,
Right. And you do this full time, or do you have another job as well?
Kind of. I mean, I've had sort of a decent amount of work in the past year, but I do have a job. I kind of work part time for my father's company, so it's very good to have
There you go.
an employer who's very sympathetic towards the plight of an actor.
There you go. No, listen, working for your dad means you are a full-time actor. There you go. Because your acting job comes first then. You know, if you're working for McDonald's or a bank,
well,
or,
exactly.
you know what I mean, then, you know, you're not trapped in a 9-to-5 system. You know, you have the freedom to... So I hear Hollywood knocking. I do. I really do for you. I think your future is going to be fantastic.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
Janet, what about you? Tell us. How did you get into acting?
Well, you know, it was. I watched a lot of TV when I was young, and I watched a lot of American stuff as well. So yeah, you're singing in your veins, your fames like with Leroy and Splits and all the rest of it. And
can you do the Splits?
I tried. I'm not gonna lie, I tried.
I still
but
try.
I couldn't quite get down. Really?
Oh
no,
yeah,
I'd be scared of stretching, breaking something. But so then, so I kind of secretly wanted to do it, but I wasn't very confident. And then time came where, you know, I finished college and I had to do a degree, and I didn't know what to do a degree. You know, my mum's quite keen on having, you know, just finishing your education.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to do a degree in something, I'm going to do it in performing arts.
Brilliant.
So that's when I did it. And then I majored. I actually went in majoring in dance, and then I was like, can't do this, you know, because we had to do ballet every morning, and I was just like, it's kind of like very hard, and I'm not that flexible, and I'm not even that interested. So because I used to go to like a lot of nightclubs and dance a lot, not on poles or anything, but just like, you know. So I thought, yeah, I'm a dancer, street dancer, and then I started doing it. I was like, no, actually, Janet, you're not. So that's when I was like, okay, let me major in acting, and I fell in love with it, and then that's when it gave me the confidence to think, oh, maybe I can kind of do this.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got into it. So and I've just been doing bits, and, you know, a bit of musical theatre and a bit of straight acting, and a little bit of TV filmy stuff, but not anything major. I think I'd quite like to get into more of that. But I think maybe because I started in stage, I don't know, there is something really tactile about it, like really kind of physical about it, meaty, and
you're very much in the moment. You've got to make it happen there and then.
And you don't worry so much about, you know, maybe camera angles and doing something that hasn't been, you know, kind of maybe choreographed or considered by the director already. You don't have to think about that.
Right.
You know, I don't. Well, you know, when you're doing, it's two different mediums altogether. But I think I would like to try some more screeny stuff, because the bits that I have done, which is not much, but I really enjoyed it. So
brilliant.
So yeah.
Brilliant. And don't listen to them, guys. These guys are being so modest. If you saw their CVs, I mean, you would be so impressed. So they're being very humble. But you see, you got to imagine they see Oscar in their future. So when they're saying, I haven't done much yet, it means they haven't done the Oscar role yet, because they haven't been given that. So, but Janet, so far, what would be your ultimate role? What would, you know what I mean, if someone said you can play this, what would it look like?
I quite like, what is her name? Have you seen that? There's an actress called Marianne Cotillard. I'm sure I haven't pronounced her surname correctly, but there's a lot of like French films that I see that are kind of about somebody who isn't rescuing the president or anything like that. It's kind of like a day in the life of this woman who is about to lose her job and needs to find a way of, you know, paying the rent. And it's just about, you know, somebody called, I don't know, just somebody really simple, like somebody really basic.
Just about surviving humanity.
Yeah.
Just a regular person.
Yeah. And I found myself really, because I kind of think that, I don't know, some of the French films that I've watched seem to European films tend to kind of focus on that. Well, maybe more of the independent-y films anyway seem to focus on that more so than maybe, you know, catching the burglar who has the, you know, codes to the missiles. Do you know what I mean? Which is exciting as well. But I think maybe doing a character like that. And also, I think with a lot of the TV that's coming out, say like on Netflix or whatever it is, I really like the fact, like House of Cards, for example.
Oh, I love
amazing.
House of Cards.
And I just love when you have the opportunity to have a character and kind of really kind of develop with that character,
yes.
like for every episode,
and you see their growth.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a really long film quality TV thing. Amazing, excellent writing. I'd love to be maybe involved in something like that. I think.
Well, I will be looking out for those kind of scripts just for you.
Let me know. I can send that CV, man. I will be there.
Okay, so for our regular people, I know you're waiting for us now on Jabba Talk here to go straight into our 40 questions. So again, you know the rules. We have 40 questions. Our guests, they will pick a number between 1 to 40, and whatever that question is what I ask them. So they have no idea. They haven't seen these. We keep these questions under lock and key. No one's ever seen these. So, and David's going to go first. Now he's just gone red. So David's going to go first. So pick your number between 1 to 40.
2.
Number 2. Okay. What is your most defining moment? And it doesn't have to be about the stage. It can be any point in your life. What is your most defining moment?
Oh, wow. That's...
Oh, you should see his face. He has that face that says, why didn't I go with number 4?
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I think... It was quite recently when, this was a few months ago, when I got out of a bad relationship and then went into one that made me really happy. Because I'd been kind of, and it wasn't a kind of, it was quite dramatic and not, I don't want to say traumatic, but it was all quite sort of, a lot of things happened within a 24-hour period. And it was all emotional and it was all quite sort of, and it was the first time in my life I'd really had the guts to realise something was just not going right and to actually kind of...
And take action.
Yeah, to properly take action, you know.
Wow. That's really good then. So that I can see why that would be a defining moment because it showed you that you had a strength in you that you normally suppress and maybe don't act on, but there was something that you were passionate about enough to dig that side out. Yeah,
because I knew that whatever would happen within this, that I would lose a lot of things. So it was about that kind of, well, do I lose the past or do I kind of look to the future, as it were? So,
wow.
And it was really recent as well. This is, just a few months ago. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem.
You see, this is why we love the 40 questions. Because it forces you to, really, like you said, well, to be honest, this is why we love it, because, you know, wow. Well, I don't want to say sorry for what you've been through, because I can see in your eyes that it was something that you embrace and you really needed, even though I can see the pain.
Yeah,
still,
it's an experience, and I suppose things like that kind of make you feel alive, I suppose.
Well,
even if they are difficult or painful or whatever. It's
it's true.
Yeah, wow. Okay, well, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm not even going to pretend. My sister Marva is in the room and they're telling me they're going to edit this out. I hope they keep it in, because apparently I keep hitting the desk and they don't like it that I keep hitting the desk. You see, this is why I like to sit out in a cafe so that I can just drink my tea and I can do my interviews. So this is really funny. So sorry, Marva, I will sit more still. Okay, remember you're listening to Jabba Talk. This is where we let the chat out of the bag. So anyway, we are still going to be continuing with interviewing David Guerney and Janet Kumah. Janet is about to have her first question. So over to you, Janet. And don't even say number 2.
Okay, fine.
That question is gone.
You're right.
So please, between 1 to 40.
I was going to say 22. Maybe 39.
39. Well, let's see if you made the right choice.
Oh, God.
When was the last time you were irritable or short with someone?
Oh, wow. Oh,
and
God.
Tell the truth.
What was that, 39 or 22?
That was 39.
Then I can go back to 22. Let me just think, 39.
When was the last
man.
time you were irritable or short with someone?
You see, I get road rage, but I've got to say, of recent, I've been very good with my road rage. I've noticed, you know, like, because, you know, sometimes it's like you'll be in the car and then someone will pass, like, if they're coming in like the opposite direction, they'll kind of slowly go past your car and you can choose to look up and engage them,
right?
Yeah.
And kind of go, what? Yeah, what? Whatever. And of recent, I've just kind of kept my eyes down, like to say it's cool, whatever.
Right.
But
that's
there'd be
good.
times when I'd be like, yeah, come on. There'd been one time when I tried to, I was so angry. I tried to get out of my car. I forgot the seatbelt was still on. I was just like struggling. What? Come on in, yeah. But I can't actually remember the last time I got that mad. Possibly in the summertime when I was driving. I don't know if the weather has cooled my attitude down. Maybe that was when the last time I got really kind of. Oh, actually no. Well, I don't know if I can talk about it actually. Maybe we'll just go with the road rage one, maybe.
So there was another moment,
Well,
but they might be listening.
Yeah, I got really angry with this girl who was she was under a lot of stress and but she said some really hurtful things and I didn't really want to respond in an angry way because I thought I will be so upset with myself for whatever I say. I'll probably end up regretting because it's just said out of anger. So I came out of the room and I called my sister and I let rip. Proper rip on the phone to my sister, who's fine because she can take it.
Right.
But everybody else listening to me, like there were these students looking at me thinking, oh my God, like who is that she's talking to? So that happened recently. But yeah.
That's hilarious. And do you shake or anything? I've got this weird thing that's
my God.
happened.
Yeah.
My thumb. Just the thumb on my right hand. If I get really mad, I'm not like a real shouter and stuff, but my right thumb will start shaking. And it's so annoying because then I lose all my street cred. Because you imagine you're standing there trying to, I'm the person, I'm going to win this fight. And that's all you're doing is like your thumb's shaking like crazy. It's so weird.
My hands do shake. My hands do shake. My voice gets higher. So it's like, oh my, what? So all of a sudden I get really like kind of, what are you going to say? And I'm just like, how old are you again, Johnny?
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I'm trying to restrain the anger from coming out, I'll start to cry. You know?
Oh, yes.
And then it's like, someone get me a pair
then
of
you've
shades
lost.
now.
Yeah, there you go. Because you would say, I'm not crying because of you. I'm just angry.
I was just, it's so dramatic.
Oh, that's
Actors.
hilarious.
That's what my sister says, and I agree with it. Actors.
Actors.
Come on.
Actors.
And
they
it's
are,
true.
They are the worst.
Yeah, it's just like, really?
Very emotional
Yeah.
people.
Drama queen.
Okay, David, your next question.
Right.
1 to 40.
22.
You're taking her 22.
I bet you really think now I'm going to regret that I didn't
I bet you're
take
going to love,
that. Go on.
Oh, it's so easy as well.
Oh, okay.
Do you or did you have a nickname?
Okay.
I had a few.
Tell us a clean one.
Keep it clean.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Some were very dirty and some were just very insulting. But yeah, one with a few of my friends was Davey, although that came from my sister taking the mick out of me and going, oh, Davey, you're so cute. And then a few of my mates got wind of that and started calling me Davey. But then I kind of just took it on. You know, I just... fine, I'm Davey, whatever. Do
you still like Davey now then? So if we start calling you Davey?
I mean, I'd rather you didn't, but I've said it. I've said it now, so I've made a rod for my own back. So,
It's true.
and a really weird one is this was a name I had on online on gaming, Mr. Slapstick, because a few people called me Guernsey Slapstick. I think it was a term of endearment, but I just, I think it's because I was funny and I liked slapstick humour. But it sounds bizarre, and I think I've just unearthed a really horrible memory there.
Okay.
More complicated answer than I
Guernsey
think.
Slapstick. I like that. Or Davey. We like that. Oh, that is so funny. What would be your alter ego if you were like... What would be your superpower? What would...
I don't know. Superpower. I don't know. The chance to pause time would be quite good, just because I'm often skint. So just take some wallets.
That's a really good one, David. Yeah.
That would be quite
Or
nice.
to know what people are thinking would be interesting.
Oh,
But
I'd
then-
hate that. Yeah.
But then
no.
after a while, all the voices.
Exactly,
crowd
exactly. And then I've got this feeling that I wouldn't enjoy that process. I think a lot of people would be thinking many negative things about
Yes.
me, even though they're smiling. So it's like, my ego couldn't handle that power. And so, Janet,
Yes.
go on then.
Number 7.
Number 7. 7 is also a good number.
Oh, good.
What is a significant song that has meaning for you?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so of recent I've been listening to a lot of Nina Simone. I like Nina Simone anyway, but I think as I've gotten older, I've started to really appreciate her genius and her fabulousness. She's like a fiery, gutsy, strong, proud, no nonsense, say it as she wants type of woman, and I in some ways would love to be that. And she's also really vulnerable as well. She just has all these dimensions kind of going on, and she just is who she is unapologetically. So anyway, so I've been listening to a few of her songs. I was going to do a gig and do some of her songs, but there was this one song which I'd heard of, but I didn't really listen to the words until I had to memorize this song, which I haven't done yet. But it's called, I think it's called I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. Have you heard of it? Actually, you know, what's that film night that what's his name used to do? That's, I don't know if he's Barry Norman. Dun,
Okay.
Dun,
Oh, yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's where it's from.
Yeah.
And the lyrics, she's basically talking about she's talking about the inequalities in life. God, we're going to get really deep now. But she's just talking about the inequalities that exist in society, and you would think that because she's talking about such a serious subject, the music would be a bit like, but it's really kind of like, it's really bubbly and really kind of fun and upbeat. And so I think that's why when I heard that song, maybe the first couple of times, I didn't really listen to the lyrics. And then I did listen to the lyrics and I thought, God, that's beautiful. You're talking about something about wanting other people to know what it feels to be your life and how it feels for you to live a life perhaps which is privileged or completely different.
Wow.
But at the same time, she's saying it without a kind of, you should, like die. She's kind of like saying it in a kind of positive, upbeat, almost like a kind of, but I think things will change. I want things to change, but this is how it is, but I still want things to change. And I just kind of think, God, just what a beautiful combination with the lyrics that you're saying and the music underneath that as well. So that's kind of stuck with me recently. I think, especially with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, it was just really resonated with me. So that song, I think it's called I Wish I Know How It Would Feel to Be Free or something like that.
We will find it. We will
Yeah,
find
you
it.
should.
And at the end of the show, we will play
You
it.
should. It's a beautiful song. Really
I
gorgeous.
love that.
It makes me cry, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so get ready for tears, my friends. Get ready for tears.